Yeah, it's the biggest deployment in terms of the USS Gerald R. Ford aircraft carrier, which arrived in the Caribbean earlier this month. Let's take a look at what its capability is, because it is astronomical. It's the largest carrier in the world, displacing around 100,000 tons of water, fully laden. It's got the capability to hold more than 4,000 personnel on board and 25 decks. Now, that's decks going from the very depths of the aircraft all the way up to the deck and onwards from the where the air operations are conducted. It's got a speed of around 30 knots, and amazingly, it costs them $8 million a day to run. So it can operate up to around 90 aircraft, which equates to around 220 airstrikes per day. That's significant, and it can operate for 20 years without refueling. So in short, it's like parking a small country in your backyard. They deploy these on what's called combat air patrol. So they'd sit and they do racetracks in the sky. You've got the E-18 Growler. So that's the same aircraft, the F-18, but that is specifically for jamming and electronic warfare operations. You've got the Hawkeye, which is for airborne early warning. You've got the M60 Seahawk, which is predominantly for search and rescue operations. And then you've got the Greyhound, which is for logistics resupply and personnel resupply, basically to get logistics and supplies on the boat, also personnel on and off. You can see from that's the actual carrier itself. It's absolutely huge. It gives a good perspective on it. And then you've got the USS Bainbridge, the USS Mahan. These are all destroyers and warships. You've got the Winston Churchill, which is a missile defense command ship. But then you've got this thing here. This is the B-52 Stratofortress. And what they've been doing is they've been launching what's called shows of force from North of America all the way down in to the Caribbean. They've also been using B-2 bombers as well.
That is an enormous capability to have in the region just to counter narco-terrorism.
I mean, it's huge. What it does mean is that it puts roughly around 15,000 US personnel. We've got the F-35B jet. That's operated by the US Marine Corps. That's what's called STOVL, which is short takeoff and landing. And when you look at the size of Roosevelt Roads Naval Station and the size of the runway, that's probably why they've deployed that there. You've got the MV-22B Osprey. That's effectively a personnel carrier that has vertical takeoff and landing capabilities.
And
that's
drones.
Also operating, yeah, MQ-9 drones. And the drones are critical for ISR, intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance.